This is Kat Klingensmith with Retro Crime. We have a special guest today. Say hi, Zach.
Hi.
And who are you?
I'm a kid.
How old are you?
6.
And who's your mama?
Cat.
I'm your mama. Zach asked to do a podcast with me, so we looked for some interesting crimes. We found one from 100 years ago that looked funny. There was a boy who stole a pig, and another boy who stole a duck. And then there was the kid who stole something. Why did he steal it?
Because he wanted to see how jail was.
Yeah, he wanted to go to jail. He was curious. I don't think he liked it.
Me too.
I think he probably missed his mama. I prefer to focus on criminals, but this survivor is too awesome not to talk about. Her name was Rose Palermo. She was born in 1890 and married Sal Palermo when she was 16 and he was 21. Do you want to get married when you're 16?
No. How old was you when you got married?
I was 39.
Oh. Is 24 good?
It's a good age. It depends on who you love. He was from Italy and she was Italian but born in Florida. We went to Florida. We went there a few times.
And we went to the beach and I buried Ben and Ben's white brother. Then I buried him. He couldn't move. And then I shoved sand in his throat.
That's right. How old were you? You were less than 2 years old and buried him in the sand. Then when Ben couldn't move, took a big clump of sand, shoved it down Ben's throat. That was funny.
Yeah.
The Palermos had 6 children. Sal made a lot of money with his beverage company. They lived in a big pink house on Greentree Road. We were just there. It was big. On a January morning in 1950, Sal was at work and Rose heard a knock on the back door. She opened it and a young man was there. He was holding papers and said he was the meter reader. A meter reader is someone who checks the box to see how much electricity they're using. Rose let him in, and he pulled out a pistol and demanded that she open the front door for his friends. They came in, and Rose realized that this wasn't a joke. They were going to rob her. The 3 boys who came in were wearing scarves around their faces to hide themselves so she couldn't see who they were. But their dog Pudgy wasn't barking, which was weird because Pudgy always barks to strangers. The one with the gun tried to get her to sit down. Instead, she punched him. She was 60 years old. She punched him and then she punched the window to get her neighbor to notice that she was in trouble. Even though her neighbor was watching from her window, it didn't work, and her hand was bleeding from the glass. This man didn't like being punched, so he smacked her on the head with the end of the gun. She especially didn't like that, and she also didn't care for the other guy with the knife telling her what to do. Now she was really mad. She attacked the guy with the gun, who then tried to push her down the basement stairs. And guess what?
What?
She tried to push him down the stairs, and instead they both fell down the stairs together. It took all 4 men to get her in a chair and tie her up. One of the boys left a knife next to her and said that she could cut herself out, but wait until they leave. Of course she didn't. She got to work immediately. They went upstairs and got what they were looking for, a case with $10,500. Somehow they knew where it was. That would be worth about $133,000 now. One of them found a $100 bill in Mrs. Palermo's purse. Guess how much $100 in 1950 would be worth now?
$1 million?
It would be worth about $1,200 now.
Oh.
Rose cut herself out and ran upstairs just in time to see them run across her big yard to their car with all the money wrapped in newspapers. She couldn't call the police because they cut the phone lines and yelled to her neighbor, who was still watching, to call because she had been robbed. That was the money from their business she was supposed to take to the bank that day. The neighbor thought the kid at the door was a census taker, which is someone who goes around and counts the people living there. In April, the police arrested the boys who did it. They got caught because one of them was bragging about it to friends who told the police the reason why Pudgy didn't bark is because one of the boys who set it up had been a handyman who worked for them. 3 of the boys said that Rose's son hired them to steal the money. It took over a year for the judge to finally say that's ridiculous. Their son was making enough money that it wasn't necessary for him to steal. 3 of the boys said that he did it because he didn't like his parents. But when Honest John, when he said it was true, everyone knew it was a lie. And guess what?
What?
She lived to be a very old woman into her 90s.
She lived until she was 90?
Older than 90. I forget how old, but...
126?
No, but she lived for over 30 more years after that. Thank you for joining me today, Zach.
My first time ever.
It was your first time ever. Would you like to come back sometime?
Yeah, it was so fun.
What crime do you want to talk about next?
The boy stealing the duck.
The boy stealing the duck?
That's the one where he wanted to see what jail was like after the stealing the duck one. Bye!